Oh, hey. Hope all is well on today. Today's live is Bitcoin versus gold. Bitcoin versus gold. And I'm trying this vertical live out. So if you see me looking down, I'm actually trying to make sure that everything is okay on my end. Trying to make sure that it all is well. And yeah, trying to make sure everything looks right. So I'm new on this vertical live. I'm actually trying to do this now to see what it's about. So if you see me looking down, that's what it is. I want to welcome everybody in. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Hope all is well on today. So trying this vertical live out. I'm trying everything to see how everything is. And if you see me looking down, that's all. I'm just trying this vertical live out. So we're talking about Bitcoin versus gold. Bitcoin versus gold. Now, first of all, this is not financial or investing advice. Let me let you know that up front, not financial or investing advice. I want to let you know that up front. If you see me looking to the side, I have my computer to the side, the vertical live, have it this way. So if you see me looking this way, I'm actually checking out my computer. So let me turn on my computer as we speak. Yeah, turn it on that computer. So if you see me looking up, that's what's going on. And I want to thank you so much for coming in. Want to thank you so much for choosing You Learn with Robert. So hope your day is going well. And you're going to see a lot of videos from me here shortly. A lot of videos coming. And I wanted to let everybody know what was going on. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. The name of this is Bitcoin versus gold. Bitcoin versus gold. If you can see it, hear me, let me know in the chat. I want to welcome you in, welcome you in, welcome you in. Hope your day is going well. Now, this is not financial or investing advice. Wanted to check out this vertical live. I normally do a horizontal live, vertical lives, trying to check to see what they got going on this vertical live front. So we're going to talk about Bitcoin versus gold, what's going on in the market, and things of that nature. Now, if you are new here, I want to thank you so much. I want to welcome you in, and I want to say thank you for redeeming some time with me on today. So my name is You Learn Robert, if you don't already know. So a lot of people are making gold and Bitcoin predictions and saying, hey, Bitcoin is this and gold is that, and this is what Bitcoin's going to do, and this is what gold is going to do. But I believe that a lot of people aren't using some type of common sense. And I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of people are not using common sense. They're saying some things that are not necessarily true. And I want to debunk some of those rumors so that you can make wise decisions. Now, this is not financial or investing advice, but I want to debunk some of those things so that you can know what's going on and you can make a better decision when it comes to certain things. Now, we all know Bitcoin has been on a tear. Some people are new to Bitcoin and have not seen Bitcoin, don't even know what Bitcoin is, but I got a Bitcoin one-on-one video on my channel. They'll let you know about it. But nonetheless, as it relates to the people who know about Bitcoin and the people who are, they've heard about it, they've seen it, they've been somewhere, a friend, a family member, have talked to them about Bitcoin. They've said something about Bitcoin. Someone said, oh, Bitcoin is this or it's not that. And you've heard some things and you want to know Bitcoin versus gold. What is it? What is it? What is it? Should I invest in it? Is gold better? Is Bitcoin better? You know, I personally believe, my personal opinion, are they're great. They're both great, but I'm going to tell you the differences. Okay. Now, people say Bitcoin, it's going to go to $1 million. Kathy Wood said that. The CEO of MicroStrategy said that Bitcoin is going to go over $1 million. And you've heard those things, but you have not heard the cases of what's going on with gold and what could potentially happen. Now, they say gold is what's called a store of value, a store of value. And what a store of value, simply put, means it retains, generally speaking, its wealth. It generally retains the amount that it is. So gold generally has a flat line, and it goes up and down in waves. In 2020, gold was over 28% roughly. 2021, it was a negative rate of return. And I believe 2018, it was like 7 or above percent. So generally speaking, gold has a wonderful return. It just is not anything that you're going to say, oh man, gold is doing like Bitcoin. Like if you compare the trajectory and how fast Bitcoin is going, that's like comparing a VCR to a streaming service. I got this VCR, y'all. And for the people who follow me, I have a different range and variety of audience. So I have some young people who don't even know what a VCR is. A VCR was a device that people used to watch movies. The tapes are like this big. And I mean, actually, the tapes actually looked like something like this. And they would put it in this machine and it would play a movie. So as it relates to anything, a lot of people don't know, what that is. So that's like comparing gold to a VCR. Gold is ancient. Gold is, no, gold, Bitcoin. Everybody's talking about Bitcoin. Now, personally speaking, I like Bitcoin and I like gold. A lot of people don't know at one point we were on what's called the gold standard. And what the gold standard meant was, hey, what we're going to do is put our assets. We're going to say, okay, our dollar is backed by gold. So the United States was backed by gold. And at one point, that's what they did. Sorry, y'all, I had to turn this light on. So if you see me putting my hand up, that's what I'm doing. Sorry, I had to get some light on in here. So get a little, make it a little brighter in here. And then we're going to turn these lights down. I'm sorry, guys. So wanted to make sure it was a little bit better. So if it's better for you, let me know. If it's not, let me know. So that's what we're doing. Turning on some lights. Turn on the lights. So at one point, the United States was on a gold standard, and we said, hey, we're going to be backed by gold. So you can actually turn your gold in for the amount payable in silver. And people who know me and who've watched me before know I talk about this, but I want people to understand what's the difference. What is the real difference between gold and silver? Why is it important? Why is it valuable? Why do we do this? See, in my office, I have silver coin, and I have a gold certificate, an original gold certificate. Look, I've taken this out of its case multiple times, so y'all must be very valuable. This is $1, okay? Now, on this dollar, it says silver certificate, okay? It says silver certificate, and it says redeemable to, it says at the bottom, it's silver payable to the bearer on demand. So at one point, you could turn in your silver certificate money, and you can actually get silver. It was backed by gold and silver, so you can get the equal value, it's like ounces of silver, but you can get the equal value of $1 in ounces of silver. At one point, we went out the gold standard. Nixon said, "Hey, look, we don't want to be backed by this. What we're going to do is do this." So people turned in their gold, and once they turned into gold, the gold was down in value, but once they turned into gold, boom, gold rose in value. It was not something that you could own as a person. It was considered outlawed, and you could not own it as a person. I'm sure some people owned it, but that's a whole nother subject. Not saying you should break the law by doing anything. That's wrong. But that's what happened. So then at one point, we can print. Everybody knows every year, we have so many things going on, and they print money, and every time you print and make something, it devalues the currency, no matter what it is. I can have, this is a silver coin. I can have this coin, and let's just say I take that coin and I melt it down every time. It's a real silver coin. It's a, what is this? This is a 70. This is MS-70, which means it's never been touched, scratched, or dented. So, at one point, if I melt this coin down and actually, keep melting it down. Imagine it's a real silver coin, but I keep melting that silver coin down. I keep melting it down, and I keep adding properties to it. It's going to weaken it. It's going to say, hey, look, it's no longer all silver. It is, something else now. Now I keep doing all these, adding different things to it. So it's going to devalue that coin. Same thing with currency. The more you print it out, the more it's going to devalue the currency, and the more it's going to devalue everything. So the same thing with the dollar. No shade. I love where I stay, but if we continue to print money, it's going to continue to devalue that. So some of you are probably wondering, hey, you learned, Robert, what does this have to do with gold and silver? Well, in order to understand what Bitcoin versus gold, you have to understand some things. You have to understand some principles. And if you understand the principles, then you can get to the next level in making a wise financial decision. Now, as I always say, this is not financial investing advice, but I want to give you some things that you can take away. There's a lot of people on YouTube just talking. They're giving you theory, but They don't know the actual back end of things. They don't understand the actual ordeal of what happened. They don't understand. They just got in here because it's a fad. That's not me. I'm not in here for a fad. I'm telling you some things that can happen. So Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is, a currency that's digital, really, if you think about it. Now, a lot of you now don't even use your cash anymore. You don't even walk around with cash. You use tap. You use your debit card. You use your iWatch, and you scan it. You go around and you do what you got to do, and you go around and things of that nature. You do not utilize anything. You just go around and do what you got to do, and it's okay. A lot of us do those type of things, and when we do those type of things, we're actually in a situation where we're pretty much using digital currency as it is. Doing the things that happened in 2019, 2020, a lot of people during those times, they did not use cash. A lot of places did not accept cash, so a lot of people use their debit card, credit cards, and things of that nature. So Bitcoin, should you own Bitcoin? My personal opinion is everyone should own Bitcoin. And the reason why I'm saying this is if they're telling you by 2030, Cathie Woods has already said 2030, Bitcoin can get to potentially of the high 1.5 million. MicroStrategies, the CEO of MicroStrategy is saying Bitcoin can get to a potential. Michael Saylor is saying it can get to $1 million by 2030. If they're telling you this, okay, my personal opinion, my base case of Bitcoin could potentially be, if they're saying 1.5 and 1 million, I'm thinking, between 350 to $700,000. Now, this is the reason why I'm talking about this. This is the reason why I'm talking about this. Okay. The reason why I'm talking about this, you're going to understand in just a minute. So if you want to learn something, stay. If you want to learn something, if you want to know something, if you really want to get to the nitty gritty of why I talk and what I do and understand what is best for you and do your research, stay. Okay. There's a lot of people came in and they're scrolling down just to get some information, and it's okay. People want quick information. We live in a microwave mentality where if I don't tell you something in 30 seconds, I'm gone. But here's the great deal about this. The great ordeal about this is any information you get from me, you're going to be able to test that information, do your research, and 9 times out of 10, it's going to be factual. I'm not just going to give you any fluff to say, oh yeah, Bitcoin going to $100 billion a coin. I'm not going to tell you any fluff just to get views. That's not my thing. I want to make sure that you can make a wise decision once you do your own due diligence and research as well. I want to make sure you can make a wise decision. Now, MicroStrategy is saying that that's what could happen. That's what could happen. If you see me looking down, I'm looking at some things on my end. So gold, they say it's a store of value. A store of value simply means, hey, look, we're going to take this. You're going to take, let's just say this is gold. I'm just going to pull this sticker. I got a sticker on my desk. Let's say this is gold, okay? This store of value. I took this sticker. It's a store of value. I bought it. Let's say this sticker is worth, $1,000, okay? Everybody knows the sticker is worth $1,000. Let's say this is hypothetically gold, okay? I have it in my possession. I can will it, I can sell it, I can give it, I have it in my possession. What happens in the case of Bitcoin if there's something happen digitally? If the power goes out, if something happens to the grid? Now, I'm not telling you it could or couldn't happen. I'm just giving you theory just so you can make your own best case decision once you do your research. If the power goes out, there's an EMP, something happens, guess what? Anything digitally is going to be off. We saw what happened in certain cases just now. You can't get gas and things of that nature. You're probably saying, well, you learn, Robert, what does this have to do with Bitcoin versus gold? What does this have to do? Well, you have to ask yourself this question. If you have $1 million value in Bitcoin, but there's nothing that you can get to, do you really have value? The answer is no. Should you own it? In my opinion, yes. Should you own gold? In my opinion, yes, because it means a store of value. So you should have a percentage of your portfolio in gold and silver. My opinion, you should have a percentage of your portfolio in gold and silver. Just like a cake has different ingredients and recipes. You make a cake and you say, okay, look, I'm going to bake this cake. Some Cakes have 2 ingredients or 3 ingredients, but most cake has several ingredients. You don't put more sugar than you do flour, and you don't put more water or milk than you do flour, because everything is used for a certain reason. So in your portfolio, yes, you should get gold in that portfolio. And that's because if something were to happen, if I'm on vacation and something goes haywire, guess what? I can take a gold coin and go to any shop where I am, and they can give me some monetary value, and I can get back home. Guess what? If I can't get to my device and something happens, or something, you can't get your device, you're going to be dealing with a lot of stuff. So gold is a store of value. In my opinion, every person around the world should own some gold. I'm going to give you a perfect scenario. If gold was not valuable, ask yourself this question: why do they have the BRICS nations? Why did they say that they're going to be backed by gold? Now, personally speaking, this is not political, this is not financial or investment advice, but why did they say they're going to be backed by gold? The reason why they said they're going to be backed by gold is because they understand gold is a store of value. They understand where the world is potentially going. They understand that gold as a commodity rises, generally speaking. Now, it has some bumpy roads sometimes, but for the most part, gold, it was here before we got here, and it's going to be here when we leave. Gold is going to be here. Bitcoin is going to continue to rise. Should you have gold in your portfolio? Yes, in my opinion. Should you have Bitcoin in your portfolio? Yes, in my opinion. That's not financial or investment advice, but you should have both in your portfolio. And the reason being, because you want to make sure that you put yourself in a position that if anything happens, you can get to that gold. If anything happens, you can get to that silver. If anything happens, you have something that you can potentially get to. And the fun thing about this, the thing that makes me to the point where I'm like, hey, look, this is what's going on. The thing that gets me to the point of, you know what, man, why is it that he's saying this? Why is it that this is happening? Why is it that you learn Robert is saying what he's saying? Why is he just not getting to the point? Why is he just talking just to talk? I'm not talking just to talk. There's a lot of people that are going to be talking just to talk. I'm telling you, my opinion is you should have Bitcoin and gold in your portfolio. This is not financial investment advice, but you should have it. The reason why you should have it is you want to be sure that you protect yourself against anything that can happen. Yes, I believe in the stock market. I own stocks. Yes, you should have stocks. Yes, you should have cryptocurrency, a percentage. Yes, you should have gold and silver. You should divide up your portfolio and say, you know what? I have a store value of gold, physical silver, just in case I have something to be able to look on to. Now, here's the fun part about it. The fun part about all this is a lot of people will sit up there and not find this conversation attractive because we're looking for the next greatest boom, 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 boom. We're looking for the next rocket ship that can get us to the moon as quick as possible. We don't really like, oh, well, that's a slow car. Gold is slow. Gold is this. Well, ask me this question. Before we were here, they were using gold, right? They were using gold trading. Before those people were there, they were going to certain things and they would trade gold, right? Since the beginning of time, gold was used as something that people built their homes on gold. They built thrones on gold. They built statues in gold. They built pyramids. The actual pyramids was actually gold was around it and jewels and things of that nature before they stripped it down. So yes, gold has always been something that we store. But now, oh man, you learn, Robert, I don't want to carry around gold. I don't think gold is attractive. I think Bitcoin is better than gold. My opinion, could Bitcoin overtake gold? We're going to talk about that. Now, gold, Bitcoin right now, the market cap of Bitcoin is right under 2 trillion. It's about 1.3, 1.4. It fluctuates based on the price of Bitcoin. 1.3, 1.4 trillion dollars. The market cap of gold market cap is over 14 trillion dollars. So in order for Bitcoin to overtake gold, in order for that to happen, in order for Bitcoin to overtake gold in its actual value, that means it has to be over $700,000 before it overtakes gold's value. Now, could it happen? I believe that it can happen. Should you own both? My opinion, you should. My opinion, you should. That's like asking me, hey, look, should I have a raincoat? Should I have a raincoat and an umbrella? Well, if you like to get wet, then you shouldn't. Personally speaking, the whole point of the raincoat, the whole point of the umbrella is to protect you from a storm or rain. Protect you, protect your clothes. You want to protect your assets. You want to protect yourself. So yes, Bitcoin is great. Yes, gold is great. My opinion, you should have both in your portfolio. My opinion, you should put yourself in a next level of greatness. You should put yourself in a position where you're getting to a great, 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 great return on your investment. If something were to happen during a recession, you want to make sure that you have some gold in your portfolio. If gold goes down, you learn, Robert, what are you going to do if gold goes down? What are you going to do? My personal opinion, if gold goes down in value, I'm going to buy some more. If silver goes down in value, I'm going to buy some more because I want a percentage of my wealth in gold and silver. That is kind of like if you ask any person who has any substantial wealth, if you ask them a conversation about gold and silver, they will probably tell you, if they're being honest, that they have that in their portfolio. Now, when it comes down to people who are, not don't really understand what, and I'm not talking about gold chains and silver chains. I'm talking about actual gold coins, actual gold bars, actual gold nuggets, pieces of gold, actual silver coins, silver eagles, something that you can utilize as a trading or bartering tool. Yes, if something were to happen and you can't get to your assets of, and these devices that we love so much, something happens. We just had a balloon go over our atmosphere unattested. So you can't say, well, you learn you're out of pocket. You way out. You're way out there. You're way out there in your thinking. You can't really say that I'm out there in my thinking because we had a balloon like the movie Up, a balloon just flying all over the atmosphere, everywhere, willy-nilly, everywhere, and we couldn't do anything. What was on the balloon? Oh man, they're not gonna tell us everything that was on the balloon. They're not gonna tell us that. But I don't really want to know. To be honest, I don't want to know every single thing that happens in our national security. I don't want to know that information. And the reason being, because I'm sure if you knew half the things that was going on, you would be scared up under your bed and you wouldn't go out. I don't want to know everything that's going on. I appreciate the people who serve and protect us. I appreciate the people who take their time to go over and to protect us. I appreciate it. I really do. What I'm saying to you, though, is you have to protect yourself. You can't sit up here. Hey, Jay Jordan, I appreciate you. Welcome in. There's a member. If you don't know the Jay Jordan, he has a fitness channel. The Jay Jordan, I'm telling you, when I tell you get your workout on, he is going to get you in shape, get your workout on. And I'm telling you, the Jay Jordan, when it comes to fitness, he knows his stuff. He knows his stuff. Definitely check out the Jay Jordan as it relates to fitness. I'm telling you, the Jay Jordan will. Boy, he had me over there walking. I said, okay, I got to get back in shape. I'm telling you, that's Iron Man. But yeah, as it relates to Bitcoin and everything like that, you have to realize that Bitcoin is the next attractive thing. It's kind of like iPhone, for example. iPhone, and I'm looking for my iPhone. Everybody talks about the next iPhone. Everybody talks about the latest and greatest iPhone, the latest and greatest thing that happens at Apple. Oh no, I got to get the latest and greatest. Oh man, this is old. I need to get this. Everybody wants the latest and greatest iPhone. I have the iPhone 15 for business purposes. I had the iPhone 13, 12, NR, XR. Here's the thing. The thing is, they're going to come out with something new every year. Okay. And so you're going to look at the latest and greatest. Oh, I want this. I like this. Oh, I want the latest and greatest thing. Oh, this is wonderful. I want this. I want that. I want this. We want to look at the latest and greatest thing as it relates to technology. We want to look at the latest and greatest thing. But what we don't want to do is think about, oh, man, that's the old iPhone. Oh, he got the iPhone X. I don't know about that. It's still an iPhone. It still can synchronize and do things that the other iPhones can do. The only difference is it may have an upgraded this or a titanium backing or whatever. It may have something just quality. Well, you learn, why did you buy that? Once again, I'm making videos. I need things, I need tools. So the whole point and the reason why you're here is because I want to make sure that you have tools to make sure that your family, your loved ones, your husbands, wives, your boyfriends, girlfriends, your cousins, your pookie them, aunts them, uncles, family, grandmas, grandpas, you can be to the next level. Your grandkids, your great grandkids. I want to make sure that you're putting yourself in a position where you can strategically place yourself so that everyone around you can win. Now, a lot of people are out here saying, oh, you should put $1 million in Bitcoin because it's going to go to the million. I'm not saying that. I said you should have a balanced portfolio. And that means I like stocks. I like stocks. I like crypto. I like gold. I like silver. I like Bitcoin. There's things that I like. It's balanced. When it comes down to it, most people, generally speaking, when they're drinking coffee, they either have straight black coffee, no sugar, no cream. That's the kind of girl I need down with my team. If you know that, you know it. Black coffee, no sugar, no cream. Somebody might know it. But generally speaking, most people want to have black coffee. Straight coffee. That's why they call it a cup of Joe. Joe was a general. He used to get black coffee. That's why they coined it a cup of Joe. So some people want black coffee. Some people want sugar in their coffee. Some people want that creamer and all this other designer stuff. They want, a nice little flower, and they want to go and sip their coffee and smell it and smell the aroma of this bean was produced. They want to do all that. What I'm saying to you is the base of your portfolio, in my opinion, should be some gold and silver. My opinion. I'm not giving you financial investment advice. You should have some gold and silver in your portfolio, because if something were to happen, you want to be able to get to that gold or silver. You want to be able to say, okay, I want to trade this in. I want to sell this. I want to barter this. You have gold or silver. Okay. My opinion is this. You never can get in shape. We're talking about, you never can get in shape if you don't go to the gym. You never can get in shape if you don't go outside to walk. You never can get in shape if you don't go pick up that jump rope. You never can get in shape if you don't have a trainer motivating you. The Jay Jordan is like a trainer. He motivates you to get to the next level. He motivates you. So sometimes you need motivation to get to the next level. Sometimes you need motivation, someone talking to you that's going to help you get to that next level. And sometimes you need you know what? I was just talking about this. You know what? I heard about this, but I was wondering about this. You know what? I was scared to ask this question. Sometimes you need financial motivation. Okay. And here's the thing. Hey, Marquez. Sometimes you need some motivation. And gold, in my opinion, is a store of value. Everybody says it. Anyone with great wealth. Kings had gold. Kings had gold. The Vatican has gold. The Vatican has silver. What does that tell you? Presidents, our government, any government you are in has some type of gold in their vault. So if they have gold and they find value in it, why don't you have it? Because we're told, oh, that's nothing. Oh, that's just a piece of thing. That's just nothing. Oh, wow. This is nothing that you should think about or worry about. That's why most of us don't own it, because we weren't taught it in school. We just taught, oh, gold, and they skim it over. Okay. But if you look at anything, if you look throughout history, they went to battle for gold. Certain words I can't say. They went to battle for gold. They wanted gold. Gold was inlaid, and if you look at people's tombs in Egypt, they had gold, and everywhere you found some type of gold. Here's the thing: no matter where you go in the world, there's going to be a place that sells gold. Okay? So ask yourself this question. Do you want to be put in a position where you can grow? Because a lot of us are told after the fact. A lot of us say, I wish I would have known. If only I would have known. Man, I always mention my grandmother. And one thing my grandmother would always say is to make sure you give value to information to people. Her term is, what she would say is, what do you know well? And she's country. So what do you know well? Meaning, what is it that you can tell me of value so that I can get that information and give it out to someone else? And then she would tell me something that I didn't know, and we would talk about it, and we would, have a dialogue and a conversation. And I would see my grandmother talk about, hey, look, this, and this to someone else. And how did you know this? And she would always be valuable and obtain information. People would always go to her for information. Here's the thing my grandmother told me, and this is true knowledge. One of the last conversations me and my grandmother had, we were talking about some things. And, she was saying, hey, who did you tell about this? And I said, Grandma, I told you. She said, but who else did you tell about this? And it was some information I was giving her, and she was saying, hey, you need to make sure that you're telling information and talking to individuals, not holding the information. See, a lot of times what we can do, like, okay, this is a sticker. I don't want to hold, I don't want to give this out. I want to just hold it. You know, we don't want to give information of value to people because we want to hold all the stuff for ourselves. We want to make sure that we hold everything. So if we hold everything, then, oh no, we can't tell people what we did or how do we get to the next level because we want to hold all the information so we can be the plug. No, listen, I want to give you the tools that you can use so that you can make sure that you have the tools just in case. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I am on YouTube now. I'm giving you valuable information. You know, whatever the future holds, I got to pray about it. I don't know what God is going to tell me as it relates to staying on YouTube. I know at this moment, there's some things that's going to happen. And guess what? If you listen from the first moment I mentioned Bitcoin, there was one moment, I can go back to the first video, but there was one moment I had a short, had a red hat on, had a white t-shirt with red logo on. And I remember standing in front of a gas station and I saw, saw that they sold Bitcoin. I said, wow, this gas station has Bitcoin. Wow. And I was like, I picked up the camera. I said, if they are selling Bitcoin, they know something you don't know. This is not financial investment advice, but if I were you, I would pay attention. I'm telling you, don't miss out. It was $27,000. At the time of this recording, Bitcoin is over 68,000 right now, over $68,000. So here's the question. If you listen, let's just say you listen, right? 3 times your value, or almost 3 times your value. Almost 2.5 times your value, right? Almost up to 3 times your value if you paid attention. Even double your money. Okay, you learn, but what's that got to do with gold? What does it got to do with silver? You said gold versus Bitcoin, so you haven't really made a best case for gold. You just said it's a store of value. Okay, listen, if you didn't hear me say kings, dignitaries, governments own gold, that should be enough to say ding, 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 ding. If they have it, if they have something by the name of the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South America, and other countries that are joining the BRICS nations that are backed by gold, if that doesn't show you something, that should. It should put you in a position where you're saying, hey, Ms. Khadija, how you doing? That should put you in a position where you're saying, you know what? If other countries own gold and silver, why should I not own gold and silver? If other countries are putting themselves in a position where they can win, just in case something were to happen, that's why they have gold and silver. If something were to pop off, they would be able to take this silver coin to the place and say, hey, look, how much is silver worth? The spot price is this. This is how much we're going to give you for this untouched silver coin in the case. Boom. Now I have some moderate money to do something else. I have wealth. Here's something that you got to understand. If the power goes out and the grid goes down, you will not be able to access your Bitcoin. This facts. But why should I own Bitcoin if that's the case? Why should I even own stocks if that's the case? Well, here's the thing. That's just like saying, why should you have food in your cupboard? Why should I have food in my cupboard? You learn, Robert. I don't understand. What's the value of food? I don't understand. Why should I have flour to make biscuits? And why? You understand that you should have an emergency stash of food in your house because anything can happen. A storm can happen. You know, everybody knows in certain areas, especially in the South, if they talk about snow in the South, man, you don't have any water, toilet paper in the South. Toilet paper, water, tissue, milk, cereal. All that stuff is gone in the South. In the North, they talk about snow. Oh, well. Oh, well, snowing. Okay, I've been up north and everybody's like, oh, well, guess what? It's just snow. It don't matter to me. It's just snow. You know, everybody gets all frantic and, oh, no. And here's the problem that we have as a people. We get information and we're like a fish because truth be told, this is a statistic. Look at it. Most people click their phone over 144 times a day. They touch their phones over 144 times a day. Most people's attention spans are less than a goldfish. We're doing this. We're swiping all the time. We're swiping. We're swiping. We continue to swipe. We see something. It gets value. Oh, this is boring. Let me swipe. Oh, learn something else. Okay, I know everything. You don't really know everything. I'm trying to tell you something because I want you to come back and say, you know what? You learn what Robert's giving us value. If I have never gave you value, I wouldn't be on YouTube. If I've never given you value, people wouldn't have subscribed. If I've never given you value, people wouldn't have come back. I'm constantly giving value. And speaking of value, if you have not already hit that like button, hit the like button, share the video out to someone it can help. Welcome in, everyone. So also, if you haven't subscribed, look up here, up there. There's a subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button so that any information that you have will be, you can actually get the information. And here's the cool part about it. Speaking of information, hey, look, I have memberships now. I'm telling y'all, you think I'm giving out value now? My memberships, the people that's in the membership channel, I'm telling y'all, watch what I tell you. I'm going to have testimonials of people who started the membership. Watch what I tell you. If they make a move, the people in my memberships, if they make moves, I'm telling you, watch what I tell you. Well, that's all I'm going to tell you. That's all I'm going to say. Listen, gold versus Bitcoin. Gold versus Bitcoin, gold versus Bitcoin, gold versus Bitcoin. Why should I own it? What's the value of it? Why is it so important? That's what you want to know. Okay, listen. And I'm looking at my phone. I took some notes. I talked about the use case of gold. I talked about, okay, here's the thing. MicroStrategies has over 150,000 Bitcoin. MicroStrategies has 150,000 Bitcoin. So if MicroStrategies have 150,000 Bitcoin, if Cathie Woods has Bitcoin, if Elon Musk owns Bitcoin, if what's my man's name, Robert Kiyosaki owns Bitcoin, if the guy who owns the Dallas Maverick has Bitcoin, I can continue to name people and name drop of people who own Bitcoin. Why don't you? If the wealthy are moving into something, that means they know something that you don't know. Before the Bitcoin ETF, I talked about that Bitcoin will be valuable. I said it in lives. I talked about Bitcoin before. This is not the first time I've talked about it. I can show you messages that I've talked about Bitcoin prior to this. This is not new to me. I show you when I was working, people say, hey, man, how many Bitcoins did you buy? Well, first of all, that's none of your business. Secondly, that's none of your business. But at the end of the day, you got to understand, I always make sure that I tell people something of value. Like I said, my grandmother would have wanted me to say, hey, Robert, what are you sharing with people? What are you telling individuals? What is it that you're sharing? Here's the question for you. If you've been listening to me, well, you learn, Robert, I don't know if I can afford to buy. I got this going on with me. I'm on a fixed income. I got this. And I'm not picking on you. Just keep this in mind. I am not picking. I promise you I'm not picking. What I'm saying to you is every excuse you've made, there's been people in my family who's made that excuse who now, Robert, you know what? I got $1 worth of Bitcoin. Yay. They bought $1 worth of Bitcoin. They bought $5 worth of Bitcoin. Hey, Robert, you know that Bitcoin that you was talking about? Now it's worth $10. Now it's worth $20. Now it's worth $40. I bought this. Oh, man, that's pretty cool. Hey, there's people. That's my dad, my father. He did not want to have a cell phone. My dad did not want to have a device. My dad did not want to have technology. But my father has Apple. He has an Apple Watch. He has an Apple MacBook Pro. He has an Apple iPad. He has an Apple device. Apple everything now. If Apple came out with a car, my dad would probably get it. What I'm saying to you is this. He went from not wanting to caring about turning on a computer to owning all this because he understood the value in the technology. I remember when he first bought Bitcoin, he called me. He said, hey, Robert. I said, what's up, Dad? He said, hey, I got Bitcoin. I said, huh? I was like, what? You got Bitcoin? He said, yeah, I got Bitcoin, Robert. I said, oh, my goodness. So he got Bitcoin, and I was very shocked that he owned Bitcoin. I was literally like, you say what? You got Bitcoin, Dad? And I'm looking for something. I was looking for something so I can see if I can pull up that message. I was trying to pull up a message that he sent me about Bitcoin. And when he was talking about Bitcoin, there's another message that he sent me. So that's what I was looking for. Seeing if I can find that phone so I can show you a message that he sent me. But it's not the phone. Another power cable, just in case I run out of juice. So here's the thing. If you can only invest $1, how I'm sure that you have Cash App. I'm sure that you have Cash App. I'm sure everyone. I don't really use Cash App like that. My dad was asking me about Cash App. That's where he bought Bitcoin. Um, when he first bought it. If you have Cash App, you can go in there and purchase Bitcoin. You can purchase $1 worth of Bitcoin. $1. You can purchase $5 worth of Bitcoin. $5. Now here's the thing. Let's just say if you decide to purchase Bitcoin. I'm not giving you financial or investment advice, but let's say if that's what you decide to do. All right. I'm pulling up the price of Bitcoin as of this recording so that we can use it as a log so that we can go back later. Okay. So Bitcoin price. If you just Google Bitcoin, Bitcoin price, Google Bitcoin price, or you can type in BTC price, do it later. But Bitcoin price at the time it's recording is $69,620.50. $69,620.50 at the time of this recording. Okay, so $69,000 worth right now. Okay, so if you write that price down, what I would do if I'm just starting in Bitcoin, and mind you, I've been buying Bitcoin forever, but I want to still continue to buy Bitcoin. So if I were new in this, if I was somebody new, what I would do is write down that price. I would look at it. I would look at it. Okay. I would look at it. I would look at it. I would look at it. Yeah, Ms. Reeves. Yes, Ms. Khadija. Yeah, I mean, you heard me talking about it. Everybody's heard me talk about it. Yeah, over $69,000. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, people's heard me talk about it. So yeah, so if you have Cash App, you download the app if you don't, and you can get Bitcoin. Okay, so Bitcoin is over $69,000. What I would do if I'm green, I don't know anything about it. Welcome in, welcome in. What's up, BDBGP? So what I would do if I'm just starting, I don't know anything about it. First of all, do your research. If you pull up a price chart, you can see where it's been, what's the low and what's the high. But you also have to understand that now, since I've been talking about it, the difference is there was a Bitcoin ETF in there. There's a Bitcoin ETF. And you know what's funny, y'all? I wrote a book about Bitcoin, and it's just been sitting on the shelf, meaning it's already written. The book is already written. It's been written for about a year now. Uh, and you know, I went to edit it and do some things over 6 months ago. I just never put it out. I might put the book out. It's a mini books, very small, something you can read, and it breaks down everything. I might put that book out before the end of this month. I might do it. And it's funny because a lot of things that I talked about in that book, it literally just start happening. Like, and some things I took out of the book because what people would think is I'm just copying on what's going to happen. But I promise you, the book was written over a year ago. I started writing that book when my grandmother passed. And let me explain this to you. My grandmother passed. I started writing that book. My grandmother passed a couple days after Christmas. In December 2018, I started writing that book when my grandmother passed. We laid to rest January 1st, 2019. So that's what I'm telling you. I've been written the book. I just decided to, I was like, well, I'm gonna put it out. And I said, well, no, if I put it out, then people gonna think I'm just, just another one of those people. And I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna put it out. So I'll probably be putting it out real soon. And that's what I was thinking about, because here's the thing. Irregardless, people gonna say what they want to say irregardless. Let me explain this to you. I want to be sure that everyone who listens to me wins. If you buy Bitcoin, I want to make sure you win. If you decide to make a price strategy in gold and silver, I want to make sure that you win. I want to make sure you understand what the purpose of all that is, so that when you make a move, when you do that, hezzy fake to the basket, I want to make sure that you can do that Euro step and get and score. I want to make sure that you can get to where you need to go to, because let's just be honest. Miss Khadija can tell you how much has food went up, y'all. How much has food went up? Food has went up astronomically. I'm talking about astronomically. I went and bought something at an unnamed restaurant. It was $12 for one meal, value meal. I said, say what? I remember it was one restaurant, fast food restaurant I went to, and I got some fries, and the fries cost more than a value meal. I said, huh? I said, who, what? I was shocked because I hadn't really went out like I normally, I just don't really eat fast food like that. But I said, Say what? I was like, well, that's the last time I'm coming here. But here's the thing: food is so high. As you know, food is higher than Eddie Kane Jr. right now. If you know, you know. Days like this, I wish food would fall. Eddie Kane Jr. Food is higher than Eddie Kane Jr. right now, meaning food's going to continue to rise. So if everything's rising, temperatures rising, if food is rising, if everything's rising, if I mean, I don't care what it is you do, it's rising. If everything's rising, don't you want your wealth to rise? I don't know, man. I don't know. Well, you learn. I'm scared. Well, fear can cost you. I did a live video on yesterday with oh my goodness. Sorry, y'all. I did a live video yesterday with Prez the Investor and Lord, give me a second. Okay. Did a live video yesterday with Lisa J Stocks and Prez the Investor. I'm sorry, y'all. Look, when you do a lot of talking on lives, you got to make sure you have something in your thermos, have some water. You got to make sure. Lisa J Stock and Prez the Investor. I did a live and we discussed fear can cost you. That was the name of that live video. After this video, I would suggest and recommend that you take a look at it. And actually, they're going to come on at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Lisa J Stocks, I believe, and Prez the Investor. I don't know which channel. They'll probably be on both channels or streaming from hers and his. I don't know. But definitely going to check that out at 3 p.m. And 2 p.m. Make This Go Viral is coming live, and I will be over there as well. So yes, here's the thing. We have to understand that the cost of goods and services are going to go up. But the question is your wage going up with the cost of goods and services? Is the amount of money, a monetary value you have going up with the cost of goods and services? The reason why you want to buy gold, in my opinion, not financial advice, but do your own research. If you look at the gold's chart over time, some years it was negative, but the years that it was positive, guess what? The years that it was positive, the negative years created a positive year that doubled the return of investment. So generally speaking, like I said, Bitcoin at the time of this recording, exactly. You're right, Ms. Khadija. Bitcoin at the time of this recording is over $69,000 per Bitcoin. So what I would do if I was fresh in Bitcoin, I didn't know anything about it, I would look at the chart, I would do my research, but I would make a move, okay? Now, I wouldn't sit up there and put all your life savings in one thing because it's not a smart thing. What I would do is look at it, and then I would say, you know what, 69,000 or whatever it is at the moment you look at it, write it down in a book. That's why I have this book here. I'd write it down, and I would look at that price. And if the price goes up or down, I would write that down every day. I would do it 3 times a day. Now, here's the general rule of speaking. Now, because I've been doing stocks and crypto and things of that nature, I kind of understand some of the moves that they make. Some of the moves it may change. However, generally speaking, the stock market is open Monday through Friday, okay? And it's not on holidays. Stock market is not open. Crypto is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, no matter whose birthday it is, what president's day it is, whatever, it's going to be open. If the male people carry it, it don't matter. Crypto is open no matter what. They're always open, okay? So what I would do, generally speaking, with stock market, at lunchtime, there's a break. So the first 15 minutes is when day traders trade on the stock market. Maybe some day traders may come in the first hour, but generally speaking, they look at the moves for the first couple minutes. They trade before the market. They get in, get a couple points, and they get out. And then you see a bounce up and down in the market throughout the day. It may rise or fall. What's up, Tamika? It may rise or fall based on the amount of volatility and things of that nature. So with that information said, generally speaking, at lunchtime, there's probably a pullback, okay? Because day traders do not keep their money in the market, okay, during lunchtime. So 11 to 12 o'clock, if you set your clock, okay, when I get up, let's just say you get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Let's say you get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Let's say you get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Whatever time you get up in the morning, write Bitcoin and write the price down. Lunchtime, write Bitcoin and write the price down. And then between 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, whatever time zone, write the price down. And start doing that for a week and see what the price fluctuates. And then you'll probably start to see, okay, you learn what's right. Generally speaking, lunch time and probably, generally lunch and the close of market is generally when it fluctuates a little bit. So yeah, some people buy in at lunch, some people sell at lunch. So let me see if I can get a good price at this time. So I would look at those times as the entry points, but make sure you do your research and due diligence. That's not financial investment advice. I'm just giving you what I've noticed. Some people are going to charge you for the information. I'm giving it to you at no cost. Okay. So you want to make sure now, as far as gold and silver, okay, now generally speaking, when they print money, the price of gold goes up because most people say, okay, the more you have gold in the market, more money you have in the market, the more value is going to be, because the fact that the more money you print, the less of the value it is. Case in point, if your favorite singer, if she had a concert, I'm saying that's some people's favorite singer. If MJ was still here and had, not Jordan, but Jackson 5, if they had a concert, if Smokey Robinson, if Franklin Beverly and the Mays got back together and they had a concert and they had a venue with 100,000 seat venue, the tickets would probably be a range. But if they had a venue with about 5,000 seats, I'm sure no matter what artist that is, what's the name of that young lady who had, she had the Eros tour, Rios tour. I forgot that young lady's name. She is, forgot her name, but no, Ariana Grande. Whatever her name is. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. I did a video about her on a short. But if they had a concert in 100,000 seat venue, it would probably be a certain range. But I guarantee you, if it was 5,000 seats in that concert hall or 1,000 seats, those tickets will be astronomical because they know it's supply and demand. And the amount of people who bought it would be, oh no, they would just be like a freedom frenzy to get in that concert because they would feel like, oh, maybe I can shake hands with maybe I can dance on the stage with, oh, you make me happy, doom, doom, oh, maybe I can dance Franklin Beverly Maze, maybe. Before I let go, maybe, so they would probably pay whatever price it is to make sure. If it was a cruise and it was just them on a cruise ship, they would probably pay whatever price it is and they would know they would get the price. What am I saying? The more money you print, the less of the value is really is because there's more out there. However, when it comes to gold, the gold is probably going to rise. Gold is going to rise, and probably Bitcoin is going to rise because the price of that money is lowering. Are you seeing what I'm saying? So when the price, when they're giving away, money. Oh yeah, you can get this car for $99 a down and $99 a month, no matter what your credit is. Push it in, pull it in, drag it in. We have cars right now. When you start hearing those commercials and we're improving everyone, and they're just giving everybody cars. Don't matter. No credit check needed. Just come in with your W-2s. Just come in with this. Yeah. When you start hearing all that stuff, generally speaking, that means money is flowing. That means money's flowing. When you start hearing those things, it means money's flowing. And generally speaking, there's a pullback on certain things because they're printing money. That means money is free. Oh, everybody's getting, interest rate is low. Oh, everybody's, happy and dancing, and we're having crab bowls on live, and everybody's eating crabs, and everybody's on vacation. But when they start pulling the money back and interest rates goes in, and you see the commercial, yes, some credits are accepted, and they start saying that some credit are accepted. You may be accepted. And they say, this is based on well-qualified buyers. Then they're pulling back on money, and generally speaking, most of those things is going to rise. Okay, most of the Bitcoin and stocks. Now, Bitcoin has something called the Bitcoin halving, and that's coming up in April, and that means that the actual amount of Bitcoin they're printing, there's only 21 million Bitcoin that's ever going to be printed or minted total. But that means they're going to slow the supply of printing or making those Bitcoins. And what happens, the lay terms of it, imagine a lot of computers. let's just say somebody has a computer in their house, and all these miners, their computer is solving this complex problem, and then another miner it goes to another miner, they're solving the rest of the problem, and it just keeps bouncing, and people are trying to solve that problem via computer. The computer does all the work, okay? And by the computer crunching that problem, it can't be cloned or copied or whatever. So as it relates to that, you got to understand that as it relates to all that, you got to understand that number one, Bitcoin, there's only a certain amount that's going to be made. That's why the value, in my opinion, is going to go up. Okay. Now, you also have to understand that they don't want you to buy any. That's why these big banks are starting to come into Bitcoin. That's why these big banks are starting to come in and say, you know what, man. So you see what Bitcoin's doing? Well, the stocks ain't really doing it. Certain stocks are doing that. Certain stocks are keeping up with inflation. But man, they're over there looking on the sidelines like, did you see this? Did you see this? Do you think people are when it went from 27,000 to 50,000, they were like, hold up now, what's going on with this? They were looking at it. They were trying to get in because they know once they get in, they can make their wealthy clients more wealthy, because their wealthy clients will say, hey, look, we don't have to worry about all this other stuff with Bitcoin, but we want into it. We want y'all to hold the value. We know y'all know what y'all doing. We want into it no matter what. So they made sure that clients are getting in, the wealthy are getting in. But here's the sad reality. Generally speaking, once somebody uses a product and they don't want it anymore, they actually give it away. They give it away. They throw it in the trash. They go to their local, shelter or their local place that accepts goods. I'm not going to mention those places because I'm not trying to down those places. But generally, people spring clean and they give away stuff to certain areas. Okay. Once they do that, somebody else says, "Oh, a case. I need this," and they buy it for a different price, right? They buy it and they take it, and then they use it, and then when they get tired of it, the cycle continues. So what happens with wealthy people, they generally get something, they get bored with it, and they sell it, they give it away, they donate it, they throw it in the trash, and someone finds it out the trash, or someone finds it as a local center where they sell used goods, and they buy it, and then the cycle continues over again. Here's what they're banking on. They're banking on you saying, I don't know. I don't understand this. Because here's the thing. Eventually, cash is going to be gone. Because really, I don't use cash. I don't carry cash around. I just don't. What's the point? I don't. So they know that most people are getting to the place where they don't carry cash around. They don't care about cash. Oh, it's just another thing that we're going to do. And guess what? Once that happens, the value, the think about a roller coaster, okay? If you've ever been on a roller coaster, ever saw a roller coaster on a movie, or ever went somewhere with your grandkids, your kids, your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever, you ever been somewhere and you've seen a roller coaster, okay? I remember getting on the Hulk, okay? And the Hulk, I laughed the whole time because it was funny to me because when I was on the Hulk, it said Hulk smash, and it took off. You're gonna see it like this. It took off, and I just bust out laughing because it said Hulk smash, and I was like, yeah, let's go. And I couldn't do nothing but laugh because it was just funny to me. So it went up, and I mean, it shot off fast, and it went up on this big old hill, and then it dropped, and the whole ride was fast. Generally speaking, at the end, it slows down and you jerk. The Hulk was like that. The Velocicoaster was like that. It shot off fast. Boom! It shot off real fast. It was fast. Generally speaking. But then at the end, it slows down. They want you to wait till the roller coaster is done. They don't want you to have the high rise. They want you to be on the low end of that roller coaster so they can jump back in when it goes back higher and then they can jump. That's what they want. That's why I'm saying Bitcoin versus gold. You should own both, in my opinion. This is not financial or investment advice, but the wealthy people don't want you to own it. I'm just going to be honest. Hey, it's fine. You don't need to be in it. That's what they're saying. You don't need to be in it. We don't need you in it. Because we want you in it after we've done and had the fun and the thrills. When it's over, the ride is over. That's when we want you to jump in it so you can hold our money and hold our wealth, because we've already made all our money. We just want it to be a steady ride at that point. not the bumpy roads that we dealt with, but once we've had a good rate of return and got so far ahead of everyone else, then when it's 200,000, then you can probably buy it. 300,000, and then you can probably scrape on it. 400,000, then you can probably think about it. When gold shoots up in value, then you might want to think about it. When something happens, then we want you in it. But right now, don't worry about it. Worry about what's going on. Worry about all this other stuff. Worry about what you're gonna cook for dinner. Worry about who got the latest beats out. Worry about the latest shoes. We want you to worry about the next concert. We want you to worry about, oh, look at that new car. Look at this new that. We want you to worry about all this stuff, but we don't want you to worry about nothing that's going on right now, because as long as your mind is occupied on other stuff, we keep throwing all this stuff. Oh, look at the latest movie, the latest this, latest. We want to throw all this stuff in your face. As long as you're occupied with other stuff, you'll never do anything. And that's what we want, because we don't want you to be wealthy. That's how they feel. I'm just going to be honest with you. That's how they feel. They don't want you to be wealthy. Why am I on here? Because I want everyone around me. Everyone's connected to me. I want everyone around me. Everyone's connected to me to be wealthy. I want everyone around me. Everyone connected to me to be in a position where they can win. Okay. So this is Bitcoin versus gold. Now recap. Bitcoin is about 69,000 as at the time of this recording. Gold right now fluctuates in value, but can Bitcoin rise beyond gold? And the short answer is, if Bitcoin gets above 700,000, it will have a more of a market cap than Bitcoin. Okay, than gold. So gold is over $14 trillion now. Bitcoin is about $1.3 trillion as a market cap. Market cap is the amount of money into it. That's the short version of it. Okay. So if Bitcoin gets to $700,000, $700,000 Bitcoin will means it will surpass gold's current market cap. Okay. So the short answer is Bitcoin could potentially go past gold. However, as it relates to gold, should you own gold? And my personal opinion is every person should have some type of gold in their portfolio. As far as what percentage, it just all depends. Gold is a store of value, meaning what does a store of value mean? Simple put in layman's terms, a store of value means it retains its value. Think about it. Kings, queens, dignitaries, presidents, CEOs has gold in their portfolio. They have gold. They store gold. The Vatican has gold. So what does that tell you? If they have gold, if kings and queens have thought gold was always attractive, what makes you think that you shouldn't think it's attractive? So as in closing, I want to thank everyone for choosing You Learn with Robert. Now do me a favor. If you have not already subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. The subscribe button is pretty much up here in this video up here. This is a vertical live from YouTube. So listen, I appreciate each and every one of you tuning in. And I'm going to be on again now at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You have who's coming on is Lisa J Stocks and Prez the Investor. They're coming on. Make This Go Viral should be going on real soon. So definitely check out those channels. But I want you to know, if you make a decision, in my opinion, you will never regret it. The only decision that you will regret is the decision never made. Let me repeat that again, because I kind of tongue tie my words. The decision you will regret is the decision you never made. Don't go back and say, you know what, You Learn Robert did tell us this when it was 27,000 and I second guessed it. Now it's over 69,000 and I'm a second guess it again. And then when it gets to 200,000, oh man, don't get to that point where you are second guessing yourself. Don't get to that point where you're scared and you don't know, and I don't know what may happen. Or You Learn Robert, I don't understand, the market may be like this and I'm scared of losing money. Listen, I'm not telling you any financial or investment advice. What I'm simply saying to you is make sure you're putting yourself in a position to win in the future. Everything is going up. Food is going up. Gas is going up. Fuel is going up. If you have a Tesla, guess what? The cost of you charging your Tesla is going up. No matter what, everything's going up in price, okay? So if everything's going up in price, I want you to understand something. If everything's going up in price, you got to understand you have to protect yourself as it relates to the price of inflation. What is inflation? Inflation is the increase of goods and services, the amount that it costs to live. Yes, our grandparents bought houses, great-grandparents, great-grandparents bought houses for $6,000 to $8,000, and our houses are now 300 plus thousand. And yes, their rent was this amount, and people's rent now is over 2,000. Yes, that's the case. But the question is, are we going to sit up there and make excuses? Or are we going to put ourselves in a position so that we can win in the future? Thanks again for choosing You Learn Robert. Want to see you in the next level of greatness. I appreciate each and every one of you. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button, consider subscribing. Cost you nothing. Hit the notification bell so that you can be abreast of the next video. We'll see you later. All right, bye now.